All right, the day has unfortunately finally come where America has elected a communist to run its not just a small town, but its largest city. Holy shit. Remember that episode of King of the Hill where Luann was going to vote for the communist and Hank lost his shit?
Wait, oh, here it is. See, our candidate is Robert Parigi.
What? Communist? No.
Yeah, that's how I felt. They voted in a communist. Somebody actually asked me to do a video about this. And I decided, like, you know what? All of us that don't live in New York, let's try to get a laugh out of this, if we can. So let's go over what this guy's policies are. You know, for a side, the left, Democrats, progressives, liberals, even though you're not technically by definition a liberal these days if you go that way, but I digress. For a side that constantly calls all white people conservatives, Republicans, and just flat out right-wingers, racist Nazis, and white supremacists, you guys certainly love doing racist shit, like elect a guy that swears that he is going to tax the shit out of white neighborhoods. Yes, he did say that.
And realize there's a policy proposal that says your plan, and I'm going to quote it for folks, is to shift the tax burden from overtaxed homeowners in the outer boroughs to more expensive homes in richer and whiter neighborhoods.
White neighborhoods will be taxed the most just because they are white. Yeah, make it make sense. Let's go down the list, though, shall we? He has said multiple times that he is going to defund the police. Well, I could tell you, as a former bouncer in downtown Chicago, that didn't go so well, and it's actually still not going very well. This city is just completely lawless. You could basically do whatever you want. He has said that he wants to ban all guns, not fully automatic, not semi-automatic, all guns. Where have I heard that before?
We also had gun control. The government said that children were playing with guns, and we had hunting accidents, people accidentally shooting each other, and we had criminals again, murderers. The only way that they could track the murderer was serial number of the gun. So bring your gun to the police station, then we can register the serial number and we can track the criminal. And we thought that was a good idea. Not long afterwards, they said no, it did not help. We could not track all the criminals. The best way to have no more crimes and no more people getting hurt, bring your guns to the police station. And they already know who had guns because we registered our guns.
Huh. Crazy. Knowing history is important, folks. Again, a side that loves calling us Nazis and racists and white supremacists. They certainly love electing people that do Nazi shit. And my personal favorite, free rent. Oh my God, he's giving us free rent. This is great. You know why you're stupid if you think that? I used to work in real estate, so I know how that works. But you don't have to be a genius to know how renting, mortgages, and all that other stuff works. Here's what happens when you have a rent freeze. Tenants don't have to pay rent. But guess what? The landlords still have to pay their mortgage. How exactly do you think these people are going to pay their mortgages if the rent isn't coming in? So guess what happens when the landlords can't pay their mortgages because the government has put a rent freeze on? They get foreclosed on and the tenants get evicted. Hope you love that free rent because you're not going to have a home soon. And then guess what happens after that to make matters worse? The banks, then they take over the property because that's what foreclosure is. You don't pay your mortgage, the bank takes it over because they're the ones that hold the piece of paper that says that we gave you the loan that you used to pay for the property. The state and local government subsidize the banks. So, once the banks take the properties over and your ass is kicked to the curb because the landlord no longer owns the property and your lease is null and void, the government can now come in and swoop. There goes private property. Bye-bye. The fact that New Yorkers fell for this is probably even worse than the people that fell for the Nigerian prince scam. And that was pretty fucking stupid. Dumbass! Ban guns, ending private property, defunding the police. That sounds familiar. You people never cease to amuse me. On the topic of communism, do you ever notice how they call themselves liberals, but they're not really liberals? Let's just leave it at that for now, because I'm getting to it. Progressives, they love to do this. I mean, look at all these protests. Look at the logo for Black Lives Matter. And they always shout out, power to the people, while raising a fist. Where have I seen that? Get my picture? I'm just going to end this by saying, please, for the love of God, don't be like New York. And if you live in New York and you didn't vote for this, more power to you. But if you did vote for this, good God, you seriously need to use your brain more. Because right now, it seems like you are just a complete brain-dead zombie. And I don't say all New Yorkers, because I know that not all New Yorkers voted for this. I live in Chicago. You better bet your ass that I would never vote for Brandon fucking Johnson. You should put your money on the fact that I didn't vote for fat-ass Pritzker, or I like to call Pricksker. So, I can't hate all New Yorkers, but there is definitely some of you that really need to start using that brain of yours. Also, maybe stop calling people on the other side racist Nazis when you voted for some racist Nazi shit.